This will be a showcase on how to clear GR2 Stage 21 for the first time with the strongest hero in the game, Praetus. I did put out an official Praetus guide showing him off in all 3 gear raids, 1, 2, and 3 for progression last week. I'll have that video linked in the description and the top pinned comment, but the Gear Raid 2 run in that video was somewhat truncated, so here you go, the full run in all its glory, really serving as a guide on how to do a strategy to beat Gear Raid 221 with an Arbiter comp. Praetus is the man, he is the Pope for a reason. If you do like this guide, if it helps, let me know in the comments, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Now it is time for Gear Raid 2, and we're going to finish this off for Aspect, beating 221. This one, like Gear Raid 3, as you'll see in a bit, this also took me a long time to figure out. Let's beat it for him. So everything here is totally typical. No Gear 2 special. I can actually just go to the gear plans and show you. I've got all my Gear Raid 2 gear over here. Baron, you can see just a normal bit of HP. Baroque here, Isolde. It's all broken set like I'm trying to do. Anybody else we have saved? Praetus I will show you in 1 second. We're changing his gear. Very conventional Vortex build. Just a lot of speed and then as much HP as we could get. And that's it. Everyone else is completely and utterly ungeared. Volca has no gear. Baron has gear, but Decimus has no gear. And finally, Dallin has no gear. They don't need it. Really simple. Dallin's just level 2 1-star promotion. That's literally all it is. You just need to have this skill unlocked, ideally get it maxed. And I will say, part of the reason I do not enjoy using Praetus for this is he's 25 costs, and he just makes the whole thing more expensive than it has to, so it feels a lot sweatier than it would with someone who's 18 costs or 19 costs. Or if you're using a bonded Silas, right, you'd be talking 12 costs. That's a special thing, but Praetus is a special thing too. He's just very costly when it comes to deploying him. Let me change that gear so you can see. Basically, we've been running this build for Gear Raid 1, very high attack. We don't care about crit damage. We'll run exactly this build for Gear Raid 3. However, because he's on the floor longer and we're more dependent upon hitting some crits and a little extra crit damage, getting those Chain of Fate damage instances out, I did need a little bit of crit damage on him, so we will put him in what I'm calling my number 2 Praetus build. So you can see over here, just a lot more crit damage. He's got like about 75% more crit damage, a little less attack. We do have 2 tier 2 pieces now. However, obviously we're running broken set again. Unlike Gear Raid 1, I am going to run him in a maxed out tier Twilight. There's just a higher DPS requirement here if I'm not running him in a full set. However, you could easily use like a base promo tier of Twilight or a well-built White Tower Trinket. This guy over here, if you had a couple promotions in that, that'd totally be sufficient if you ran a set on the right side. So maybe you have a nice Wisdom set, that'd be really, really good. A nice Night Terror set, all that would work. But this is what we're gonna cook with right now. Let's get into this, and I really, really hope we get it on our first try, because these Gear Raid 221s can get sweaty. As I did with Gear Raid 1, and as you will see, I will do again with Gear Raid 3. I'm going to treat this like a full Gear Raid 2 guide, like walking you through the stage, but I'm going to focus heavily on Praetus when those moments come. First things first, we'll place Dallin. Doesn't really matter where you place her, but I like to place her this way pointing in, because if you're using Narvi or Cyrene, that's what you would have to do, because they need to build Rage, because their Rage is how they're able to trigger their cost generation. Dallin, on the other hand, it's just like clockwork. It just happens every 25 seconds, so you could put her anywhere except for in the line of these scary guys that are going to kill her. As soon as we have 18 costs, we're going to place Baron. If you've seen my Gear Raid 2 guides a lot in the past, I will not build Baron, but we do need him to tank for a nice handful of seconds here and then be able to trigger his ultimate. So I needed some gear on him, but it's not very good. It's broken set. He's got like 60 or 70k HP. There we go. We wait. And now we very patiently wait for Dallin to trigger her cost generation. And then we are going to deploy Valkyra. So this is a nice use of Valkyra since she's 5 costs less than Praetus. We don't need much DPS here, so there's no reason not to use her. Don't worry, we're still going to use Praetus. That's what this button down here is for. We place that, so we get 2 hits, so it's the verdict number 2. And because we consumed Divinity, Valkyra is now dealing 50% more damage. So this is very easy for her, even though she's not in a great build and she's not doing that much damage. Okay, down they go. We pick up Valkyra, we pick up Baron. We get our final trigger of cost. You guys just saw that coin. Now we're going to pick up Dallin. I want to focus. I really want to get this on my first track. Here comes the running man. All right, let's put on 1X. Boom, boom. As he goes up, get ready. When he comes down and slams and you see the flash of light, that's when you know to let go and drop Decimus. Boom. Slam, slam, boom. Slam, slam. And even before the boom, you can place Vortex down because he can tank one hit. Okay, so this guy, as soon as he makes contact with Decimus, he's going to throw his head back and you'll see a damage number above his head right there. That's when you can pick Decimus up. Now we're going to quickly place Praetus and Dolores. And when I place Dolores, you're going to see there's this tumultuous horn artifact symbol above her head. That's the artifact she's wearing. It's actually a very accessible artifact. It is like free to play legendary artifact. And basically what it does is on every deployment, the hero wearing it gets more initial rage. This is really good for content like this where you're cycling your heroes on and off the floor if you have healers that benefit from that kind of thing. So like Dolores, Autumn, Leia, very advantageous, and it allows us to cycle the ult quick enough in this comp. So let's get ready. We're going to place Broke here, right here, and Desolda right here. These guys explode. Now we're going to let these rock thrower guys come out. Vortex will soak up all the aggro. Let's wait till they throw again. I'm going to 1X it. Right after they throw again, I'm going to start ulting with Dolores. And I'm going to start hammering with Praetus. As soon as they enter the range, now we're ulting with Praetus and Dolores. I'm not clicking the final verdict, the hammer, the lightning, the Praetus button in the corner until I'm already ulting with Praetus and Dolores. That's because Praetus is giving himself 30% increased attack post-deployment when he ults. That's from his ultimate. And Dolores obviously is giving him a huge amount of attack from her inspiration. We're going to deal a bunch of true damage with this button, so we want Praetus' attack as high as possible. The key thing now after I press that is I want to really keep an eye. I want to pick up all my other non-DPS units, so besides Praetus and Dolores as soon as possible. And I want to keep an eye to pick Dolores and Praetus up as soon as these guys die, because I need to cycle them out so they can cycle back in for the next rotation, which is way harder, as quickly as possible. Let's go back. Let's click the button. You'll see it's a ton of damage. Some big old numbers. As soon as those front guys die, we can already start picking everybody up, except for Praetus and Dolores. And now I really just got to zoom in here and keep an eye. There's a little bit RNG to this depending on where the lightning goes. I can already pick up Dolores because this guy has like nothing left. There goes Praetus. Let's see. Okay, now we pick up Praetus right away. I think that should be plenty of time. Throw it back on 2X. He's going to shriek here, and then he waits a bit before doing his Earth Shake, which is the next move he does, and he slams everything. So because of that, because he waits a bit, as soon as he starts shrieking, we can already place Decimus and Baron. The next rotation we can't because he starts Earth Shaking much quicker. It doesn't line up the same way, but this one, it's not really a big timing thing. As soon as you see the shriek, you can place them. Same story here with Decimus. We wait for contact. He throws his head back. We see the number right here. There it is. Now we pick him up. With this guy, we wait till he shows his back to Baron. Now we pick him up. We can drop Dallin on these guys. We can drop Volca on these guys. And let's already get ready to place Vortex. There we go. We can place a Solda. We can place Broke here. And then key thing here, you saw before we placed Praetus on this square and Dolores here. We're going to switch that now because at the end of this rotation, we're also going to place Valkyria over here. And we want to make sure she's in Dolores range. We just want that little bit extra DPS. If you're running a better build on Praetus, which I suggest you do, like don't run a broken set, then you wouldn't need the extra boost from Valkyria, no question. All right, we got to focus. Oh, there's Dolores. Here comes Praetus, boom. We want to ult with these guys as soon as they come up, but we're waiting on the button until they're ulting and Valkyria is deployed. Okay, there's Dolores. We're keeping an eye on the cost in the right corner for Valkyria. Comes Praetus. Ult with Praetus. Gotta wait for Valkyria now, come on. Okay, place her. Now we can press the button. Let's ult with Isolde too so she doesn't die, and with Broke here. You see, we're almost running out of time, but we should just get the DPS off. We can start picking up everybody except for Dolores, Praetus, and Valkyria. Let's see. Okay, they did just die. We can pick up Praetus there. Valkyria saved him. So we did lose a little bit of costs because Dolores and Valkyria died, but we did get all the kills. We're still at 3, so we're good. This is what I'm saying. The Earthshake's coming much sooner. So I actually have to wait. Boom, boom. Place Baron. Now wait and get Decimus ready and place Decimus right there. He got behind. It's not the end of the world. You would prefer he was in front. Slightly quick there. Let's wait. We got to pick up Decimus right at the right moment now. Click on. There's the number. Up. Wait till these guys start walking. Place Dallin. Up goes Baron. There's way more time on Baron, especially if he's A3 or higher. Let's drop Volk on these guys, and now it's the home stretch, folks. It's the home stretch. As soon as Decimus is ready, we place him. He's going to swing at Decimus. You can already actually use this, get some early damage out. He's going to cock back again. Ooh, the timing on that was really weird. They counted him touching him as a hit. That was a glitch. We wait. He's going to turn red. As soon as he turns blue again, we're going to place Broke here. Okay. Now we have to wait a second because we didn't get the Decimus pickup. We're a little low on cost, but that's why Broke here or Regulus or anyone like that is good because it gives you a little extra time because of their unyielding unkillability thing. You can see the heals are not so great. The build on Broke here is not so great, but we are going to make it. Let's place Dolores there. Throw this thing on 2x now. We're looking okay. And now we're just waiting for Praetus. I'm going to hold off on doing the button until Praetus is placed, because then he can get the benefit of Dolores. So you'll see like this here, and now we got the final verdict. Tons of damage straight into the boss. Keep it on 2x. We're kind of in the home stretch now. There's nothing that can really go wrong. Let's place Valkyria over here. Praetus is ulting, and because it's the single target, right? There's not multiple people in range during his ultimate. He's placing the 3 stacks of Radiant Erosion, and we just melt that guy away. There it is, 221. Sweatier than it should be with Praetus and Valkyria, but that's how you can do it with not such a crazy gear requirement. And look at the damage. It's obviously a huge amount. Praetus, most of this Valkyria damage is just her from the beginning when she handled those guys. You could do it without her. Like I said, you wouldn't need the extra cost later on in the fight, so you wouldn't need to use her at the beginning if Praetus was built better, because then we wouldn't need her on the right. This whole thing is possible without her, and you could just bring any old Arbiter and let them sit on the bench just as a second faction member. But that is going to be 221.
Fastidious.